This morning, before the sun came up and warmed it up and the mosquitoes came out, I decided to pull out the log arch and a little Kubota tractor and take a ride down through the woods to pick up a cherry log that I had cut a couple days ago and it's been sitting there. So, basically it's just got to go across the yard and go down through the woods, and just figured I'd take everybody along for a ride and just, show them how easy it is to hook up a log with my arch. So way back in the corner of my property up on the top here, I've got a path that I cut through it, and it's really just narrow and wide enough for a tractor to fit down through there. I kind of have to get out there with the weed whacker and clippers and widen it up a little bit more, but it's definitely wide enough for me to get through. It's a little bit tight, and that's actually why I've got the arch behind the Kubota tractor instead of the John Deere. The John Deere tractor with the loader on the front of it, it's kind of hard to navigate through tight spots and back into tight areas and stuff with all the trees around. So using this little Kubota, it's got a shorter turning radius, and it's basically got no loader on it or anything, so it makes a real nice package and works really good with the arch. So here we are going down. It's actually a really steep hill. It's kind of hard to tell, but it goes down at a pretty steep angle here, and I'm just kind of going down around the corner a little bit to there's the log right there up on the side there, side of the hill. So I got to back up in there. It's really deceiving looking at the camera angles because it is a pretty good hill here. So then I decided to take a little walk around the corner here and kind of show you some of the woods that I've got. Up till a couple of years ago, this basically was all fairly large ash trees in here. They were just basically a couple feet apart, and then that emerald ash borer just kind of started on them. And actually there you can see a tree stand that the hunter that we let hunt out here uses. But basically this was all pretty much solid large ash trees through here, and you can see I've got a good deal of them down in this area now. There's a couple left, but I'm slowly but surely working on them. So here's kind of just a look at the log arch that I made. For those that haven't seen it before, it was one of those fun projects with the plasma table that allowed me to cut out all the parts and put it together. Now, one of the things you really want to have if you have a sawmill or deal with logs or anything is one of these log arches. I had one of the cheap Tractor Supply ones, and I bent that thing, and it would never grab on. It would slip, and you'd go flying. And this log one, it was blue. I painted it yellow, but it's really an amazing tool that just grips on and doesn't let go. And you can kind of see I did take the tractor with a loader and push some stuff out of the way so I could get the arch in here, and you can see it's fairly tight to get up in there. Kind of got a camera showing you the backup view on it too. I mounted a GoPro on the back of the tractor today, and you can see how easy it is to handle and control with this little Kubota. You can it's just got the perfect wheelbase, I guess, to turn easy with it and be controllable, so you could back it right in where you want it. So there we are. We're got the arch over the log and got out the remote control to load it. Now there's a lock on the front there that holds the front up for safety, and then there we go. I didn't get it the first time, and then that back claw just comes down. It's really hard to see, but this is really on a pretty steep hill here, so to keep that claw from swinging forward, I actually have to hold it back here because it's just hanging on cables. Normally on a flat spot or uphill spot, it would be good. It would go down by itself and grab on, but here I have to give it a little bit of guidance. And then there's those front arms on the ratchets there that ratchet in and lock underneath the log there. And the reason that's there is just so that you don't drag the log on the ground, so it gets picked up completely, and it gives you much longer blade life by not getting dirt in the bark. So you can really see how easy it is to, just let this down and how everything clamps around the log, and there goes the front end of it up first, and then the back end's going up, and that's basically because I've got the big end of the log to the back. Usually I'll try to put it to the front, and it'll kind of balance itself going up, but there it is, no muss, no fuss, and you're all loaded up, and just for the heck of it, there's another shot from that GoPro on the back of the tractor that kind of showing you all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Usually I've got my camera and my tripod, and I'm always trying to stop the tractor, get off, move it, get a shot, and then stop again, get a shot again, and it's like really making these videos really does take a lot of time. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you're working by yourself, it can get quite frustrating at times. So here it is. I got everything going. I'm starting up that camera. Got it aimed where I want to kind of get that shot that you just saw of the claw in the back there. And so this is this kind of shows you what goes on behind the scenes, I guess. And this is really one area you don't want to be in when it really starts warming up and the mosquitoes come out, because this heads down into a low spot with like a stream and a swampy area in the bottom of it. So there's usually a pretty good batch of mosquitoes that come out in the afternoon here. Here you go. This is just another view, trying to get that clamped on and getting the log loaded. Now this tree had blown over in the early spring winds that we had. There were several of them here that I've been working on trying to get out, and trying to take what I could out as firewood, and then the any of the good logs I try to save to cut up into lumber. And I kind of don't have a lot of cherry lumber right at this point in time, so this is really a good find without having to take down any of the bigger healthy trees. So there it is, all loaded up and ready to go. And it's really quite an easy job. Just push the button on the remote for the most part. But this log arch really has saved me a lot of blades on the sawmill. Now I got to pick up my camera and take some other shots, and then I'll be off in a second. You really can't hear them on the video, but it really sounds great out here with all the bullfrogs that are down in the pond. They're really loud, and they're really going at it this time of the year. So, it's a nice peaceful setting. So now, everything's loaded up. You can see it's, logs on there, nice and secure, hooked on there, and, the front's all suspended, and, on an area like this, you can see I put an extra strap around here to hold the front down. I do have the heavy end of the log, the bigger side, to the back of the arch, so going up and downhill, I really don't want it to move around or bounce around, so I just throw that on for safety. And here you can kind of get an idea. This is what the hill looks like a little better. I got the camera set up, better. And got the 5-inch grapevine hanging there in front of you that I had it cut out swinging. It was like a log. Unbelievable. So here we are going out the lower section of this road. It's just a matter of just winding through the woods a little bit. And if you go down quite a bit further in the woods, there's a second road like this I have that loops around the bottom of it to get the trees and lumber out of down there. So this is just the upper area that I'm in now. So you can see where that little tractor and a tight wheelbase and the nice short wheelbase on the arch really makes it easy to maneuver around things and in and out of stuff. So that was really a great thing that I built. And we're just kind of headed out now, and you really can't see them. They're kind of overgrown now, but there's just a ton of stumps down here from the all the ash that I've taken out. So it's such a shame, because it was really such a beautiful, dense, shaded area down here when we first bought the property, and now it's there's a lot of light getting in once you start taking down the big trees, and you start getting a lot of this underbrush starts growing and making kind of a mess. Now we're just kind of heading across the bottom, just above the stream there, and heading out into the lower part of my yard. There you can see, like, here's one of the big stumps still sticking up over there on the left from a tree that I took down, and it is, it is a fairly tight fit through here and stuff, and that's why I had to keep the arch actually the same width as the tractor, just so it would track easily going through this area. And as you can see, it's going to be another sunny day here. Basically, we've had nothing but sunny days for about the past 6 weeks. We did get one day of rain, and hopefully it looks like tomorrow we're going to get some thunderstorms again, so that should be good for the garden. So now we're just kind of heading out across into the backyard, and little pricker bushes are starting to grow up in here now and stuff, so I still have to get down here and weed whack them. Kind of falling behind on everything this year, it seems like. I got off to a late start. There it is, we're coming out into the lower yard now. Starting to go up the hill, and it's hard to tell here with the video too, but this actually is quite a real steep hill to go up. It's I don't know exactly what the angle is, but it definitely is it's steep to walk up and down. So here we come. We're coming up behind the house in my garage, and over on the left there you can kind of start to see the garden a little bit. Alright, there you can see the kind of the back corner of the garden, and that should give you an idea of just how steep it is back here. And this is the area here where I took like 5 feet of the hill out and I leveled it forward there. That's starting to get some grass growing in, and I put the grass seed down a good 6 weeks ago, and it only rained that once, but in the whole time, so it never really got a good start. So I didn't want to waste water on the grass because I've been putting it on the garden, and I have a lot of bare spots because of that. But hopefully we'll get some rain, and it'll catch on, and I still have to get some topsoil and do a final leveling next year. Almost up to the up to where I'm going to drop the log off, and here's my pole barn, and I've got all my metal equipment in, and you can see that's basically it's an 82 foot by 31 foot building, and then my firewood pile is I got some of it there left over from last year, but kind of overgrown. I haven't gotten out there and weed whacked it yet, or I haven't finished splitting all my wood for this year yet either, so I'm still kind of behind, and I'll probably be making a video about that next week. So there it is, one cherry log ready for the sawmill. I'll probably pull that out in a week or two and slice it up and let it start drying. I'm thinking from a log that size I should probably get maybe 80, 90, 95 board feet of lumber out of that. And you got to figure that cherry goes for $3.50, $4 a board foot. So, to me that log is really quite valuable as a, to turn into lumber rather than to burn as firewood. So you can, pretty much see now, I guess, how handy having a halfway decent logging arch is when you're trying to get some, good saw logs out of the woods without damaging them or dragging them through the dirt. Here I am again. I didn't let it down all the way. Kind of struggling today, it seems like, but that's basically it. Just pick it up and drive away and go get another one. Those other two ashes have been sitting there for probably a year and a half now, waiting to be sawn. I really haven't had a need for them, but probably next week I'll get out the mill and just saw it all up. So I just thought, I'd share this little ride through the woods with you and just show you, one little part of my day here, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.